It's 20 years since fox hunting was banned in England and Wales. But how big a problem is illegal hunting today? Tom investigates. And a warning, you may find some of the scenes in his report upsetting.
It's a sunny winter's morning in West Sussex, and this pack of hounds is raring to go. They're about to head off with the Crawley and Horsham hunt. These horses and hounds are going trail hunting. This form of hunting became the norm in 2005 when the previous Labour government banned the hunting of foxes with hounds in England and Wales. Former huntsman Richard Gurney is showing me how the scented trail is laid for the hounds to follow.
So what's about to happen here?
So we're just about to put some scent onto this rag.
Right.
We'll just start it off here in this field.
So that is leaving a line, a trail of scent on the ground, is it?
Exactly.
And the smell of what?
It's an aniseed-based scent with some cooking oil and some slightly warm water, basically.
Some people use fox urine. Do you do that?
We have done. You have to remember that these hounds basically were bred to hunt live quarry. That's very much in their genetics, but at the end of the day, we found that aniseed and cooking oil works very well.
The appeal of trail hunting is evident among the riders today.
Just love coming out with a really fun group of people, enjoying the countryside and seeing parts of the countryside that I wouldn't ordinarily see.
But for some, it's not just a fun pastime. They say trail hunting also makes a huge contribution to their livelihoods.
I'm a farrier, so I put shoes on the horses. So some of the horses that I shoe are hunt horses, so they'll be out trail hunting like today. It's nice to come and see the horses that I work on out doing their jobs, yeah.
I've been a livery yard owner for the past 40 years, and it's lovely to see people around, community get together. It's something we've done for the past 20 years legally.
As the hunt follows the scented trail, it's not long before they're being watched. These are hunt saboteurs. They say they go out to observe hunts with the goal of spotting and stopping any illegal fox hunting. This group tells us they're only here because another nearby hunt cancelled, so instead came to monitor what they described as the well-behaved Crawley and Horsham hunt.
Supporters claim this is just a bit of harmless fun, allowing a tradition to continue that's existed since the 1600s. But opponents say all too often trail hunting is being used as a cover for illegal fox hunting.
Andrew Osborne, chairman of the Masters of Foxhounds Association, has joined me on today's trail hunt in West Sussex. His association is the governing body for around 150 foxhound packs across the UK. He insists hunts don't set out to intentionally chase foxes, despite claims that trail hunting acts as a smokescreen for some to continue the hunting of foxes.
Who's breaking the law? Who's still chasing foxes?
Who's still chasing foxes?
Yeah.
Well, the hounds are still chasing foxes when they have an accident, in terms of they go off a line and accidentally then pursue a fox. You stop it happening, you then go back to your trail and you get back within the law. The intention is not to chase foxes.
There's a strongly held view amongst the police that trail hunting is a smokescreen.
That is just not true. There has been, since the ban, over 300,000 days of hunting. There has been around 30 prosecutions of registered hunts, who I represent. That is less than 1 in 10,000.
Could there have been so few prosecutions because, as the police say, it's very, very difficult to get prosecutions?
Could the answer be that it's very difficult to get a prosecution because when, in the main, not breaking the law?
So the hunt we're on here, since 2010, they've had 4 people convicted under the Hunting Act.
This hunt is an absolutely great reputation now, having perhaps made a mistake or two in the past, for which they were prosecuted, those people, and they are not involved with this hunt now.
Why can't you stamp out, as you see them, the bad eggs, the bad apples who are still doing this?
Well, we largely are doing. We have only recently brought in a much more strict regulatory authority. We have thrown out hunts, we have stopped people hunting ever again, we have removed their accreditation, they will not hunt again. So we have got much better. Should we have done that much earlier? Probably so.
The Hunting Act banned the hunting of wild mammals using dogs, There are exemptions though. For example, you can still use a pack of dogs to flush out a fox if you then kill it with a bird of prey. Or if a fox poses a risk to livestock, you can use up to 2 dogs to flush it out as long as you then shoot it. It can be difficult too to prove a hunt intentionally chased a fox rather than accidentally stumbled across one. All of these factors can make enforcing the law challenging. Matt Longman is the National Police lead for hunting with hounds.
In the past, you said that trail hunting is a smokescreen for actual hunting. What's the evidence for that?
The evidence of that is simple, that of all the cases that I've reviewed where there have been successful, so that's successful prosecutions of the Hunt Act, trail hunting has been used as a defence. So if those are just the successful prosecutions, it stands to reason that there are also unsuccessful prosecutions, is what the evidence tells me, that this is providing a smokescreen in some opportunities for people to carry on hunting.
How widespread do you think illegal hunting is?
I think it is widespread, and I base that on the fact that our figures reporting to us is growing, but also I anticipate that our investigations will grow over the forthcoming years, largely because we are updating our officers with better skills, we've got better technology. So I do feel it's out there. I do feel it's quite widespread. It's not at all hunts, and it's our job to work out where it is and concentrate our efforts there.
There is a huge debate over the scale of illegal fox hunting. Countryfile has established that since 2005 there have been 615 successful prosecutions by the police for breaches of the Hunting Act. The majority of these cases relate to other forms of hunting, including hare coursing. But Countryfile has identified around 40 cases, reported in the media, where individuals from trail hunts have been successfully prosecuted under the Hunting Act, like this footage showing a fox being pulled out of the ground and thrown to the hounds.
There's a brace!
We've also found around 30 cases where hunt members were prosecuted under other laws. These included offences linked to animal cruelty. This footage from saboteurs reveals a man holding a fox cub, which he later throws to hounds at a hunt kennels before disposing of the body. And also the blocking of badger sets, which the Badger Trust says is done to prevent foxes from going to ground. A lot of the evidence against hunts has come from hunt saboteurs, like Steve. He's part of the Hunt Saboteurs Association, a network of around 60 different groups across the country. Today, he and a team of SABs are following the Fitzwilliam hunt near Peterborough.
How does this work on a typical hunt for you when you're out monitoring?
We always try and be in front, because any foxes that they hunt are obviously going to run away. So if they're running more towards us, then we've got a chance of getting between the quarry and the hounds. That's our prime directive, is to save the hunted animal.
And do you think you have done?
Oh, without a doubt. Hundreds and hundreds, yeah.
Steve's joined by a number of other SABs. Some cover their faces as they don't want to be identified.
You can hear the huntsman's horn there.
What are the rules about you and your colleagues actually going on the land here?
Well, they've got an injunction, so we're basically restricted to public rights of way. So that's what we stick to.
That presumably limits your view of what's going on quite considerably.
It can do, yeah, but, you know, we can still be pretty effective.
Suspect team, we're going to pick you up on Milking Slade Lane.
Sounds like you've got quite a few people out there today from the different voices I'm hearing.
Yeah, there'll be several groups out, so we try to cover as much ground as we can, like groups of 2, 3, whatever.
Can we go for that pickup in probably 3 or 4 minutes?
Yeah, copy. OK, I'm going to have to move.
OK.
We needed to go and pick up one of our foot teams and may have to deploy somewhere else.
Steve says they have good reason to follow the Fitzwilliam hunt. Since the ban came into force, 2 members have been convicted under the Hunting Act. Steve says he gave evidence in the 2 most recent fox hunting incidents in 2016 and 2022. And there's currently an ongoing police investigation into an alleged fox hunting incident involving the Fitzwilliam hunt last November.
Do you feel it's been left up to you to police this activity?
I think so. I think if we had an effective piece of legislation where it was easier for the police to get prosecutions, then maybe they would be more keen to act accordingly.
Do you consider you and your colleagues to be fanatical about this?
Not fanatical at all. We just don't like to see people abusing our wildlife and getting away with it.
What is the end goal?
a complete ban on hunting with hounds.
Do you have any understanding of the appeal for them? You know, it's a social time, out with friends.
Well, you could have a social time and have a great time riding your horse without chasing wildlife. Why does it have to end up with the killing of a sentient mammal? It's beyond my comprehension.
Well, that's it. A great percentage of them now would say they're not doing that.
I would say a great percentage are either deluded or they're being lied to or they're lying to you.
Throughout the day, the members of the hunt, the saboteurs and us cross paths.
We're just observing the sabs. We're not here for any trouble.
Can you move away from the hounds?
Of course.
And the horses. Make it safe, please.
And later we encounter them again.
Welcome to the Fitzwilliam.
And this time they turned their attention to our team.
What's your name?
My name is Tom.
I don't know. Your name?
The Fitzwilliam hunt later told Countryfile that because they hadn't known in advance we'd be filming, they couldn't tell their followers who we were. It said hunt members face persistent harassment, so are wary of strangers with cameras and only challenge saboteurs on legitimate grounds, including to try and prevent saboteur interference with our hounds and horses, which they said could jeopardise safety. They said that as members of the British Hound Sports Association, they meet strict regulatory and welfare standards and have their own disciplinary proceedings to deal with any infringements of the law. The Fitzwilliam said their activities are legal and permitted under the Hunting Act, and added that we regret the prosecutions involving the Fitzwilliam, which come in the context of 20 years. It seems like life has got harder for hunts in recent years. Organisations like the National Trust and Natural Resources Wales have stopped trail hunts from using their land. In 2023, Scotland tightened its hunting law, announcing a 2-dog limit on hunts unless they have a special licence. And there's currently an attempt to introduce a private members' bill in Northern Ireland to ban hunting with dogs, the only part of the UK where fox hunting is still legal. Now, with Labour back in government in Westminster, the issue of hunting is once again under consideration in England and Wales.
With some in the party seeing it as unfinished business. In their manifesto, Labour promised to ban trail hunting, which it says is often an excuse to cruelly kill foxes.
Dan Norris is the chairman of the League Against Cruel Sports and the Labour MP for North East Somerset and Hanham. He was involved in helping draw up the legislation banning hunting in 2004.
Why do you think you need to change the law?
Well, we attempted to ban hunting 20 years ago. Loopholes have been created. We need to close them and finish the job.
It feels in a way like you tried to ban it and you're cross that still people are riding around on horses, as some people say it, toffs on horseback, and now you just want to crush it. It's vindictive.
Well, that is the argument that is made by the people who are likely to be affected. However, I don't agree with that. I think that we have been very patient. When we created the original legislation, I think we were naive. We thought the intention was clear, and we've been outmanoeuvred, if you like.
Is the Prime Minister Keir Starmer behind you? Does he want to see trail hunting banned?
Of course. Of course.
How do you know that?
Well, because he's the Labour leader, and the manifesto is clearly something he'd be aware of and would agree to.
And when would you like to see this legislation come in?
Well, we have committed, Steve Reid, the Secretary of State for DEFRA, has committed to doing that piece of legislation in this Parliament.
And in the next 4.5 years now?
Yes.
If that does happen, the Countryside Alliance, which in 2002 organised a massive demonstration against plans to introduce the hunting ban, warns there will be a backlash. In a statement, they told us, further legislation on hunting is unnecessary, unjustified, and would completely ignore the priorities of rural people and the country as a whole. Demonstrations are inevitable if the government pursues a route which would ban all hunting activity. As for the government, the Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs said, this government was elected on a mandate to introduce the most ambitious animal welfare plans in a generation, and that is exactly what we will do. We are committed to a ban on trail hunting, which is being exploited as a smokescreen to cruelly kill foxes and hares. The controversy over hunting looks set to take centre stage again over the next few years, but hunts, for their part, say they are simply misunderstood.
Why ever would a Labour government coming in want to then ban a completely legal form of sport in the countryside, to yet again to attack the rural communities. You'll have seen today that people from all age groups, from all backgrounds, come out in the countryside, enjoy watching hounds work, enjoying that community spirit, and enjoy the great privilege of being able to go across our wonderful British countryside.